Initially, it was just like, okay, I'll be, Abstrac, which was the plan. I was going to be Abstrac's MD, music director, and
Okay.
I'll learn how to program their stuff. And we were really cool, Marsha and
And
Mary,
Mary.
Topaz. So
Yeah.
we're kind of like developing a relationship as like, okay, this guy didn't make today's band, but he gonna be y'all's like keyboard, programmer and things like that.
Wow.
So we started making that kind of connection. You know what I'm saying? So initially it was just to be a part of the band was my ambition at the time.
But how? I mean, a lot of people, as I say, a lot of us who followed Teddy from a long time ago, look at GR Productions and think, well, that was the first sort of, we have Uptown, we had Bad Boy, we had Death Row, but before all of that stuff, I mean, Motown was probably the only other label that had like all that talent under one roof and everyone was together. But that was in the '60s. So when you come into the '80s, that GR Production had all that talent, and it's a pity that it didn't, it fell apart quickly. But what was it like when you've got Abstrac doing their thing there, you've got Today, you've got Guy, you've got Deja, you've got all
Oh,
this stuff. I mean, did you just think, wow, we're going to take over the
yeah,
music?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, Gene's, God rest his soul. I mean, Gene's, his drive was to, because he would talk to us about certain things. He's like, his thing was to create a situation where you had every group, a girls group, a guy group, a solo male, solo female,
Wow.
And like, the rap group. So he could do just like, with the Motown days, the Motown
Yeah,
R&B,
yeah.
Gene wanted to do the GR Productions. And I mean, he carried it like that. I mean, like at first, when we first got there, it was like, he would tell guys, okay, if you book Guy, you got to book Today.
Wow.
So we end up getting on a lot of the Budweiser Superfest side shows, like those gigs where they would come off to the Superfest and do the little side shows in a smaller venue.
Wow.
We end up doing all of those shows, and then we would do some Budweiser Superfest shows.
Wow.
So that, I mean, it created like him doing that created an atmosphere for what he wanted to do with his playing with the company, which is, I think Puffy took that, because he used to be around back then. I think he took that point and did it with Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
I'm gonna get something to have every group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he made it work.
Yeah. No, I think. Wow. Oh, so even back in those early days, Puffy, I thought he came later.
Yeah,
Puffy
but Puffy was still around. He was an A&R dude, so he was still around. You know what I'm saying? You would see him. You know what I'm saying? You would see him in different places. You know what I'm saying? We would be at different events. He would be around. He wasn't the Puffy that everybody know now.
Yeah. But was he with Uptown or was he just on his?
He was. He still was with Uptown at the time.
Oh yeah, because Guy was with Uptown, so he was always watching and seeing what you guys were doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So I guess a lot of us don't know much about. I know about Abstract and Deja and stuff, but what was it like for them performing? Could they? I mean, because I've seen their videos, but I never saw them live. I mean, could they hold their own live?
Oh, definitely. They sounded pretty much like the record. That was Gene's stickler. Like, Gene was a stickler. Like, yo, we got to practice. You got to sound like this record.
Wow.
Don't be deviating far from the record. Get that down. We're gonna do this one little part where you give them all you got, and don't do that no more in the show. And he was really a stickler about practice. I mean, like I said, we hadn't been there. I think the first day we got there, he had Guy locked into the studio and they couldn't leave. He's like, yo, because I think he came in to listen to the show, and they didn't have the show right. You know what I'm saying? And Gene was basically like, yo, we ain't doing no show this weekend. Y'all gonna stay in here and rehearse all night. And when I come in the morning, if y'all ain't got this show right, I'm canceling the gig.
Wow.
And so they end up having to stay really all night. You know what I'm saying? And we were there all night too, because we were getting ready for this today thing. But they stayed all night, and I think Gene came in at like 10 o'clock that next morning to listen to them do the show.
My goodness. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.
You know. I begin to